Hello, folks, and welcome to the second round of your 4A state playoffs. I'm Robbie Richardson, joined by my co-host
Solomon Thomas.
And today we have a riveting game against the Andover Central Jaguars versus the Cape and Mount Carmel Crusaders. Today, Andover Central comes into this game 5-4 as they face the 9-0 Crusaders. Coming into this game, Central beat their first round opponent in Abilene 35-7 and comes into this game with a strong will to advance in the playoffs. While Cape and comes into this game with a commanding win over El Dorado last week, 63-0. So what is the game plan that Central is going to come out here and fight against Cape with?
Central is going to try to really use their run game to their advantage. They have a really good running back in Jackson Green, who's a junior, and he's shown a lot of promise this year with multiple games over 100 yards. So that's going to be a key focus if you're Andover Central this game.
Absolutely. As the Crusaders come out here again, they'll once again try to dominate on the ground as they have been this year. We hope for a good matchup and for all players to be safe this game as we are almost underway for your Crusader matchup. And right before captains come out to the field, folks, I'd like to give a special shout out to a teacher of mine. He asked for a special shout out today, Mr. Dan Fortino, one of the greatest college algebra teachers all time. Really cares about his students, and he just wanted a special shout out, so thank you so much to him. And special shout out to Mr. Martinez. He comes to all these games, he documents them, gets all that film for this Crusaders team, and he helps so much. So thank you to you both. A special shout out to Mr. Fortino and Mr. Martinez. And of course, we couldn't have done this without I know this is a little early, folks, but we'd like to give a special shout out also to everyone a part of KMC journalism, especially Millie Stewart, greatest engineer of all time, takes care of a lot of electrical stuff. But another big shout out to Mr. Hebert. He gets all of this done. He does so much for us, and we just thank you so much for really helping me and Sully get this thing going. And both teams' captains marching out to the middle of the field for the coin toss. that Capon has won the toss and are elected to defer. So this Capon Crusaders special teams unit will come out first kicking.
And Costner's kick is up. Bit of a weird kick, and the ball will be fielded around the 31-yard line, bringing out this Capon defense.
Yeah, Robbie, this Capon defense is going to have a tough assignment against a great running back in Jackson Green. And it's really, we're going to look at the defensive line this game, and for players like Cole Tarantino, number 4, to really make an impact. Because Capon in the past has kind of struggled on the outside run. So we really want to see players like Cole, players like Melvin Pogway, number 13, really just stop the run game.
Absolutely. As Olsen in shotgun takes a snap, hands it off to his back, Green. And the ball is out. And it looks like it was recovered by Central. Great first play for this Capon defense. That'll bring up 2nd and 9 for this Central offense. Olsen in shotgun once again. 2 receivers out to his right. Drops back, looking over to his right. Has time, but is brought down. Sack by Anthony Solis. Great job at staying poised on his position and just being able to get to that quarterback fast.
Yep, great job by Anthony there, being able to wait patiently, like you said, Robbie. And now this Andover Central team is going to be in a long 3rd down situation.
Olsen, Green to his left, drops back, looking over to his left, fires it, and incomplete as he was looking for his receiver, Sadi. And that'll bring up 4th down, 4 and out for this Jaguars offense.
Yeah, great play by Jude Porter there to knock the ball out late on that play, because even if Andover Central gets it there, it just gives Capon the longer field to work with now.
Absolutely. As the kick is high and spiraling, as Hamilton able to recover that ball, bringing Capon up to the 49-yard line. Great field position as Capon trots their offense out for the first time. As Capon steps up in I formation, wrap under center, hands the ball off to Huff. Huff running up the middle, bouncing, finding some space, and is brought down. Great run by Ken Huff there for a gain of about 20.
Yep, this is going to be a tough game for this Andover Central team because of this stellar offensive line, Robbie.
Absolutely. As the ball goes back to Huff, Huff running into a wall of Andover Central defenders, only for about a gain of 1. As Rapp under center, takes a snap, hands it off to Solinger. Solinger up the middle, walks it in for Crusaders touchdown. 6-0 already. 3 plays, and in the end zone for the Crusaders.
It's perfect how Coach Arts designed this first play, Robbie. He didn't want anything else except for to run the ball, and it's perfect. The O-line just doing everything right, and just massive holes opening up. So great job by Coach Schartz and this O-line.
Absolutely, and DuPont's extra kick is good, bringing score 7-0 with 10:01 left in the first quarter. We'd like to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Internet's Arts and Bronze and Grasshopper Mowers. Thank you so much for all that you guys do for us, and thank you for sponsoring KMC Journalism. And as special teams trots out there, like you said, Sully, great play by that offensive line, really, just to get a hole open for Solinger on that play. Great discipline there from that line.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what we've seen all season, right, Robbie? We've just seen time and time again this offensive line being able to create gigantic holes and work the offense for every single running back on this Capen team. As you know, multiple running backs are part of this big offense, but only 2 being used right there, in Solinger and Huff. So this offensive line just being very efficient, as there was a really fast score on that play.
As Costner's kick is fielded and will be taken to the 34-yard line. Great job by Capen special teams at finding the receiver fast and bringing him down early. As Central's offense trots back out here, we'll see if they want to stay on the ground more, as they have been doing all season. Olsen in shotgun. A man in motion to his left. Takes a snap. And he keeps the ball rolling out to his right. And he finds no one and is brought down. Cal Purvis with the sack. Oh my goodness. This Capen defensive line already showing their dominance this game.
And way to keep up there by Cal Purvis, and also number 13, Melvin Pogwe, being able to seal off both sides so that the QB couldn't get anywhere. So great job by both of them there.
Absolutely. And with that sack, it'll set up a 2nd and 20. See what Jaguars offense wants to do here. As Olsen, man in motion, hands it off to his back, Green. Green is met immediately. No gain on the play there.
Jackson Green, the ball carrier.
And so you would assume that Andover Central would try to go deep here, but that really hasn't worked out so far in this game.
Yeah, it really hasn't, Robbie, because this defensive line is just doing such a great job at getting on the quarterback and really just staying in pursuit of the quarterback, even when they've been blocked a little at first.
Absolutely. As Olsen drops back, a little bit of a wide receiver screen, but it is brought down. No gain again on the play. Tackle by Pogwe. And that'll set up another for an out.
Yeah, Robbie, nothing going right for this Andover Central offense early on, and you feel like they'd want to, maybe stretch the field a little more on a 3rd down like that, just because of the you're already down 7-0, and this Capen offense look good. So,
as Hamilton will smartly let the ball roll to the 27-yard line, trotting out once again this Capen offense.
Don't think we're going to see too much difference here, Robbie, just how dominant Capen's been, don't you think?
Absolutely. Really just having their identity on the ground ever since Coach Schartz came here. But we shall see. Rapp hands the ball off to Huff. Huff finding some space and is brought down for 4. Sully, that was an interesting point you brought up. Obviously, in the past, Sharts has really only kept on the ground, but Sharts has allowed Cole Rapp to really try and air that ball out a lot more than we've seen in recent years. So maybe Sharts is trying to add just a little bit of spice to his playbooks.
Yeah, and I think he's done a great job at it because this year they're looking so competitive, and they've looked competitive all the years he's been here.
Absolutely. So. As Rapp holds the ball, now pitches it as Huff is running, and he makes a couple men miss right before he goes out of bounds around the 50-yard line. Great play by Cole Rapp there to keep his composure and hand it off to Huff at the right time.
Yep. So going with this hurry-up offense, Robbie, I don't think Central's being able to
As Soldier once again finds a hole up the middle, racing, and he finds the end zone once again. Like we've been talking about, Sully, for the entire game, offensive lines are just opening up holes for these running backs.
Time and time again, Robbie, and it's just a well-coached line we have, and players who have played here or been on the line for multiple years, right? Nick Ancio, Max Worrell, these guys, just Landon Heiss, just really good offensive linemen who got a lot of experience and who are really just showing out this year and being able to show that, how much they've learned and how much they've progressed. So it's good to see from Coach Sharts and this coaching staff.
Absolutely right, Sully. As these guys have really been able to bond for about 3 years now, they've been able to accumulate a lot of chemistry together. And we believe, that's why we think that this Cape and run game has also been so dominant, as well as the explosive dual running back system of Wyatt Solinger and Ken Huff.
Yeah, and, having those extra running backs is so important, Robbie, because of how much Coach Sharts runs the ball and how, you get tired in a game like this where you're running so much. So It's just great to see all of the different running backs that are getting reps in. And to think that our starting running back right now is going to be back next year, it's just great. How many juniors and underclassmen are on this team compared to past. So
Absolutely. As Costner's kick is up, sail to around the 13-yard line, will be taken up the middle, trying to find some room, but he falls down. That was Danelle Insuglo on the catch there. We'll set this Andover Central offense on the 22-yard line. As Jaguars offense comes. Looks like a run play here. And Green takes the carry. And Green trying to make a couple men miss. Green bouncing out to the outside. Porter chasing him in pursuit. Breaks a couple tackles but steps out of bounds. Good play by Jude Porter there to throw Green off there and getting him out of bounds.
like we said, Robbie, just the outside not being contained right there, and this is a big point I made. Kind of just cut from the inside to the outside, and Cape had already sent all the people down. So, unfortunate play if you're Cape, and you just got to count more for that run game as you see Andover Central looking more like normal.
Absolutely. There's a little trick play here from Central as it goes nowhere. Saudi with the catch and carry for a negative gain, bringing up 2nd and 13. Capon immediately sniffed that play out as Central has a player down. I'll bring up an injury timeout. As Sully, besides that last play, we've really been able to see Capon really dominate on the line aspect of this game, being able to bring pressure as well as stop the run.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and it's because of the spectacular players we have on this D line. We have Cole Rapp, or not Cole Rapp, excuse me, Cole Tarantino. We have players like Landon Heiss, who also play on the offensive line, that go defensive line. Melvin Pogway, Anthony Salas. It's a bunch of big dogs on the defensive line, and they don't let anyone pass them. And they've just been so good this year. And, they haven't been really a focal point of the Stars' success because, of just how little they've had to, or because of how much everyone on this field has contributed.
Absolutely. As Green takes the run, it is immediately swarmed by Cape and defenders for a huge loss. Now bring up another 3rd and long. And going back to that injured player for Central, he trotted out back to the sideline on his own power and is back out there on the field.
It looked like Green just thought he had opening by going backwards, but he didn't. He definitely didn't, as I think we're going to see probably a deep ball here, Robbie.
Absolutely. Olsen takes a snap, looking over to his left, fires it down the middle, and the pass is too high. Great defense by Gage Nye there, covering up Caden Rubio. And once again, that'll bring out this Andover Central special teams unit for another punt.
Yep, after some promise that we saw, Robbie, it's just nothing there. After a few mistakes.
Absolutely. As Hamilton smartly calls for a fair catch, and the ball will be placed at the 12-yard line.
We're going to get to see what this Cape offense is able to do on the long field. Obviously, Robbie, with the punts, they've started out in almost plus territory for them, starting out in the opponent's side of the field. So we'll see how they deal with this large field.
Absolutely. Wrap under center, I formation. Hands off to Huff, up the middle. Huff fighting for extra yardage, and he'll gain about 5.5 on the play. As once again, Capon will keep it in a semi-hurry-up offense. As Korap takes a snap, hands off to Huff. Once again, Huff finding some room up the middle, and Huff can't break a tackle, and that'll bring up a Capon first down. Great job by Huff to just get about a 30-yard gain on the play here. As a little bit of personnel confusion, as Rapp hands the ball off to Cal Purvis. Cal Purvis again fighting for more yards, and that'll bring up 2nd and 5.
Obviously, Robbie, getting a lot of rest for Mr. Ken Huff there after a long play.
Absolutely. Solinger takes a carry up the middle for 6, and that is good for Crusader first down.
It's going to be another first down for the Crusaders. Cooper Green on the tackle, 1st and 10 from the Andover Central 39.
Rapp hands the ball off to Purvis. Purvis up the middle, finding some hole, and brought down, but not before gaining 5 on the play there, as both Purvis and Solinger will come out to the sideline. As Rapp hands the ball off to Huff. Huff finding some room on the outside. Huff trying to bounce it back into the inside. Breaks a tackle. And we'll fight. We'll fight for a 25-yard gain. Great run by Huff there to get to the 5-yard line. And you can see there, Sully, what that extra rest can do for a running back.
Yep, it's absolutely critical, and it's just showing how well they're doing with this multiple running back set that they're going with here.
And Solinger's carry is good for 3 yards. And wrap under center. Hands ball off to Ken Huff. Ken Huff will lower the shoulder. No signal yet. And he was stopped short, about a yard short. And there is a penalty on the field. A little bit of confusion from the refs. And the refs will talk it out.
Illegal low block. Defense under 55. After distance to the goal. Still second down.
And a penalty on Andover Central for an illegal lower block will set up Capen even closer. Bring up a second down once again.
Crusaders had a second goal from the line.
Once again, Huff hands off to Purvis, and a hole the size of Moses when he parted the Red Sea. And that is good for another Capen touchdown, bringing the score 20-0.
No one in sight there, Robbie. As Coach Schart's really using all of his running backs in this game to a great measure. As you know, this Andover Central team, Robbie, we've seen last year, they actually were the state championships in 4A, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this year, there's a major down year for them, being 5-4. As we've seen Capen just really hand it to them on all levels really early here, as it's not even end of the first quarter here. It's already 21-0.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. This is not at all what Andover Central had wanted to start out with. 21-0 in the first quarter with about 3 minutes left in this quarter. See if they want to make adjustments during halftime or even the quarter. As Central has both Green and Mason out back for the kickoff. As Costner's kick is up. Long kick for Costner, and Green will take it, trying to find some room up the middle. Now going to his left, finds a hole, but is brought down. Hard hit from Hamilton there. That'll set up Central on the 26-yard line.
So, look, Robbie, don't you think that this is not what you had in mind at all for Andover Central? Andover Central's run game. I thought we'd see more of Jackson Green, as you know he's been really a bright spot in this offense this season. So that's just not what I would. It's not what I would have thought I've seen this early on. So I think they need to get him more involved.
Absolutely. As Olsen takes the carry for himself, and will be brought down for a gain of 2 on the play. And you're absolutely right, Sully. Their identity this season has really been through Green, and they pass it a lot more than they have in other games. So it's a little confusing to see Green not being used more. As Olsen under shotgun. Green in the backfield to his right. Olsen takes a snap. Drops back, fires to his right. And a little too far. Intended receiver was Caden Rubio once again. There's great defense there by Collins. Able to get a finger on that ball. That'll bring up 3rd and 9. Olsen, once again, under shotgun. Green out to his right. Olsen drops back, stepping up to the pocket now, rolling out to his right. And there's a gain of nothing. First met by Collins. Now bring up another 4th and out, Sully.
Yeah, all the receivers were covered on that one. Nothing really QB could do, but kind of a wasted drive, I'd say, Robbie, because there really wasn't anything going towards Green on that one. I feel like you got to get him a little more involved.
Absolutely. As Hamilton fields the ball around the 35-yard line. So I think that last drive by Central really is a test to both this Cape Cod defensive line and the DB room for Cape Cod just being really cohesive in their play, as the defensive line is able to bring pressure and disorient Olsen, as all the Cape Cod DBs are able to lock up. And a special shout out to senior Owen Young. As Rapp rolling out to his left, looking for his receiver, Rocco Keller. Keller brings the ball down. Great job by Keller to adjust his body. Little celebration there from Keller. Big play. I'll set up Cape Cod on the 29-yard line.
Yeah, and that's what you can do when you have 6'4" receivers. You can just throw it up to them. It's really hard to guard them.
Absolutely. Solinger will take the carry up the middle. Good run of 6 on that play. Absolutely. So as you said, Cape Cod has a couple of those 6'4" guys, and Keller, Pondai, Stuhlsatz, and just a couple other names out there. You know, like we said earlier in this broadcast, Cape Cod has really put their identity in keeping the ball on the ground. However, this year they've allowed Cole Rapp to kind of let it loose a couple of times and just let that ball fly out there.
Exactly right, Robbie, and I think that's why Cape Cod was able to win these big games against Northwest. We saw Pondai really flourishing that game, and you know, this season in particular, Cape Cod really hasn't had to use as much as that passing situations, just because they've been so dominant on the run, and you know, there's just really no need for them to go in the passing when, you know, you're blowing a team out. But they've shown that they can do it on all levels this season, and I think it's really promising, especially just because it allows your offense to work in so many different ways and really opens up that playbook and makes defenses second guess themselves. It makes it harder on the defenses to know what's coming. So it's a great job by Coach Schartz for this year, and you know, really deserving of everything this year and all the success that they've seen.
Absolutely. As Cole Rapp has really stepped into the spotlight this year, I'd like to give another special shout out. Dylan Burr is in the stadium here tonight. Former quarterback last year, had a great season. Unfortunate loss in the playoffs. Just like to give him a special shout out for all that he did last year. As after that injury timeout, Cape Cod will trot back out on there to the field. As Rapp under center, I formation. Takes the snap, hands it off to Huff. Huff up the middle, fighting for more yards, dragging men until he goes out of bounds. What a strong run by Huff there to get the Crusaders a first down on that play.
Yep. Legs kept moving, Robbie, and he just doesn't go down.
As Rapp hands the ball off to Solinger, Schillinger tripped up a little. That's a gain of 2 on the play there.
He's tripped up after a 2-yard gain by Bobby Sands.
As Rapp once again takes ball, hands it off to Huff. Huff is immediately met by a wall of Central defenders once again. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 6. First third down today for the Crusader offense.
Yeah, I think we can expect a sort of rollout play here, Robbie. Rollout pass, rollout option.
You predicted it, Sully. As Rapp trying to find his man. Will be high-pointed. Touchdown, Crusaders by Stuhlsatz on the play there. Excuse me, gosh, I messed that up last week too. That's my fault, folks. That is Jackson Gosh on the touchdown grab there, bringing the score 27-0.
And a great crossbody throw there by Cole Rapp, being able to keep his throw balanced while his body being turned the other way. It's really hard to do, so good job there.
As DuPont's extra kick is through, bringing total score 28-0 Crusaders. And on that last play, so I'd really like to just give a compliment to Cole Rapp there, able to roll out of the pocket and able to have composure on that throw. As you saw on that last play, he rolled out, was patient for Gosh to get open, and was able to throw a dart for only Gosh to get.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and he's a junior, so it's really good to see a junior that you're gonna have next year being so good, because you know that you have still stability at quarterback when in the past, last year you had a QB who was a senior, so you only had him for 1 year. He really only got reps 1 year, but it's always good when you have a young QB showing out, and it's great to see Cole Rapp really showing that he's really comfortable in this offense, as it's really hard to put up the stats in this offense. As you know, it's a really heavy run offense, so great job by Cole Rapp this year.
And with that, Costner's kick will start the second quarter. Is up, and it'll sail to the back of the end zone. Great kick by Costner there. That'll set up the Central offense on their own 20-yard line. And down 28-0, we'll see if the Central offense wants to air it out once again.
Yeah, I think you're going to want to get Green a little more involved as he's in the game currently. See what they do on first down here.
As Olsen, a little trickery there. Green does get the carry. Does a little stutter step for about 8 on the carry there. Great play call there by Central, but even better job at that Cape and defense at recognizing it.
Yeah, it's kind of what we want to see. What you want to see if you're Andover Central, Robbie, because we've talked about this. How we need to see more Green if you're Andover Central offense, as your biggest plays have been with him. So.
Absolutely. As Olsen hands the ball off to Green once again. Green spinning out of a tackle, but is brought down for a gain of about 5 on the play, and that is enough for a Central first down. Central's second first down of the night, coming in to the first part of the second quarter. As Olsen with the Green to his right. Takes a snap. Hands it off to Green again. A little bit of trickery with his fumble, but is recovered quickly by Sadi. And I'll bring up 2nd and long again, Slowly. This is not what you want to see as a Centrals fan.
A little trickery on that play. It didn't go well because the Capeman defense had read it so fast, and they were able to really just shut that play down quickly, Robbie.
As Olsen in shotgun. 2 receivers out to his left. Man in motion. Olsen rolling out to his left. And he finds his man. Only for a gain of about 6 there. That was Mason on the play there. And a gain of about 7 on that play. It'll bring up a 3rd and 8.
Big play for Andover Central here, Robbie. You need to get some sort of spark going in the second quarter. So you're down 28.
Absolutely. As Olsen stays in the pocket, has time, launches it, looking for his man Shoddy, and is brought down. Sadi a little angry. There wasn't a pass interference called. However, that was just good defense by Gage Nye on the play.
Yep, secondary really flourishing this game, Robbie, as the past game has just been non-existent for Andover Central. As, you know, the secondary was a kind of a weak point for this defense, and a concern. But they've really just shown that they're good. You know, these guys are learned from their past mistakes and been able to show how well they can actually be. And these Andover Central receivers are not getting anything on this Capen defense today.
Absolutely. And with that punt, it'll set up Capen on their own 27-yard line. Cole Rapp hands the ball off to Ken Huff. Ken Huff able to bounce it off to the left side, breaks the tackle as he's doing it. Off to the races, and he is brought out of bounds. Great run by Ken Huff there to find the outside and get all those all that yardage.
Yeah, and we're gonna see that a lot tonight, Robbie, because this offensive line is just on a roll.
As Rapp hands the ball off. So that's Pete Keller up the middle. And he finds the end zone once again for Crusaders touchdown, 34-0.
Again, Robbie, just offensive line doing their job, and Pete Keller able to just run behind the his linemen and blockers there, and kind of run a cross country to the end zone there. So great job, as there's now like 4 or 5 different runners that have been in the game, or running backs that have been in the game for Capen.
Absolutely. As with that extra point by DuPont, brings the score 35-0 with 9:33 left in this quarter. And Ken Huff right now has 10 attempts for 175 yards. And so if you're good at math, you can see Ken Huff is averaging 17.5 yards per carry. Ken Huff already having a night, and it's only the second quarter.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot of big runs, Robbie, and he's been able to really stretch this field and use everything to his advantage. And he's an athletic guy, another junior on this team that we were talking about that is just really promising towards next year. You're going to have him next year. And the guy who just scored that touchdown, Pete Keller, he's also a junior, so you're going to have him next year too. So that's really just two guys that will fit perfectly into this offense next year.
And kick is up, line drive. They'll sail to the back of the end zone, setting up Central once again on their own 20-yard line. And like we said, Sully, earlier in the broadcast, with Capon having so many running backs, they've been able to be so dynamic and be able to keep their opposing defenses on their toes and really having to try and guess who's getting the ball on each play.
Yeah, you're exactly right. As Coach Hartz loves to use his fullback in his old school offense, and it just keeps those defenders guessing, like you said.
Absolutely, and Olsen takes the ball himself. A little bit quarterback draw there, and they'll bring up 2nd and 6 with a 4-yard carry there by Olsen. This Capon defense tonight is really not allowing anything for this Central offense, as they've been able to really contain Olsen on those run plays. As Olsen, Green to his right. And as Central takes their first time out of the half, we'd like to give a special congratulations to Cross Country for their first win in 20-ish years for the boys, as they were able to bring the first place trophy home. Special congratulations to Daniel Enriquez, Will Etheridge, and Cole Reinches for all top 10 finishes. Daniel Enriquez, obviously, Sully, one of the greatest runners Kansas athletics has ever seen, really. Able to, once again, bring home first place.
Yeah, and also shout out to the girls cross-country team who also won double state championship here. And another top finisher, Ava Klassen, who's only a sophomore, who's been really able to just be just really good, and she plays second all overall. So this Capon cross country is just really well coached, Robbie.
And with Green on that carry, it was enough for a first down. However, there was a penalty on the play. We'll see what that call is. And by this Capon defense look, it'll look like it'll back it up, as it will. Face mask penalty. And they'll give Central another 15 yards. As Olsen in shotgun, Green to his back right. 2 receivers out to his left. Olsen takes a snap, hands off to Green. Green up the middle. Gain of nothing on the play there, as he's brought down by Mason Collins on the play there. And another man down for Central. That is not what you want to see. And folks, with Capon sports wrapping up in the fall, we'd like to ask you guys to come and support all of winter sports in swimming, basketball, bowling, any sport that you guys can come to. I know that the teams would be greatly appreciative of, as I know that everyone works very hard in all their sports, so it'd be amazing if you guys could come out and just show up and show out for these athletes who have worked so hard.
Exactly right, Robbie. And, we have a great basketball team.
Absolutely.
Can't miss them this winter, as they're back-to-back state champions in the 5A class. So they've really been able to be dominant under Coach Eck. And some of the best basketball games ever watched are high school basketball games, Robbie. And And yeah, this Cape basketball team only has positive play coming because they've been able to develop these younger guys, and they're just going to be really special for a very long time.
Absolutely. As Central player was able to stand up on his own power and walk over to the sideline. As Olsen in the backfield in shotgun. Takes a snap. Drops back. Steps in the pocket now. But his big hit. That'll bring up 3rd and 1. As he was met by a wall of Cape defenders. Big hit by Cal Purvis, who got to him first there. That was Green back in the game for Central. Olsen under shotgun. Drops back. And he tries to escape, but there's a fumble on the play. And see what the ref says here. It looks like Central recovered the ball, however they're wheeled. As Rapp takes snap, hands it off to Huff. Huff finding a hole, bouncing to the middle, looking for his first score of the night, able to outbeat the defender. Strolls in for a one-play touchdown for the Crusaders, bringing the score 41-0. Ken Huff tonight really just showing his dominance on the ground, as he's able to really just take control of these Central defenders tonight.
Yeah, that power set that they brought in, that I formation with Ken Huff's little brother, Nathaniel Huff, another big dude, and it's almost impossible to block.
DuPont's extra point. He's a doink on the left upright. Excuse me, that was Max on the play, not DuPont. And that'll result in a 41-0 still, 7:24 left in the second quarter. As Capen's special teams will trot back out onto the field. And Central really, right now, really just needs a spark, if anything, at this point to get their offense going.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Robbie. As the Central team honestly just gone away from their run game. I feel like they've seen the most success in the run game, but I think they're just trying to get those fast points, those big plays, because they're down by a lot. But I think you need to run a little more, as we've been seeing that the longest plays they've had rushing have been with Jackson Green, and I think they just need to stick to that run game a little more so that they can open up the pass game.
Absolutely. As Central offense back out on the field. Olsen with a man to his back left. Olsen hands it off to Green. Green bounces off the tackle, but it is brought down for a gain of nothing on the play. They bring it up 2nd and 10. And nothing is going right now for the Central offense.
Brought down by Green and Porter. 2nd and 9.
As Olsen, 2 men to his right and left, has a man in motion over to the left side. Olsen takes a snap, rolling out to his left, Tries to find a man. And the ball is incomplete. Intended target was Caden Rubio once again. That'll bring up a 3rd and 9 on the play. And Central, same formation. Green to his left. Rubio in motion. Takes a snap, rolling out to his left. Hands it off to Green. A little bit of trickery on the play, but he's brought down by Cal Purvis. Angry tackle. And that'll bring up 4th and 8. Once again, another 4 and out.
Yep, nothing going right, Robbie, at all for this Andover Central team. And Capon gets the ball, and they're going to get a chance to score and activate a running clock.
Absolutely, as Hamilton recovers the ball and elects to fair catch it as the ball will be placed on the Crusader 42-yard line.
KMC will take over there at the 43-yard line, 1st and 10.
Bring up a new set of downs. As for the first time tonight, we'll see Cole Rapid shotgun. Man in motion as Porter gets the carry, juking, making a couple men miss, but not before gaining 7 on the play. We'll bring up 2nd and 3.
He was brought down by Bobby Sands with help from Whitley Stover. Gain of 7, 2nd and 3.
As Cal Purvis in as quarterback will little quarterback run there from Cal Purvis. Bring up a 1st down. Sharks having a little bit of fun with this offense here.
Yep, Cal Purvis Wildcat, seen it all.
As Rapp keeps the ball, standing in the pocket, fires it deep for X Factor, and the catch is fair. What a play by Pondai there. Yeah, unfortunately, there's a flag on the play, and it looks like it'll be holding. I'll back them up even more. Unfortunate penalty that'll wipe out an amazing catch by Axel Pondai there. As 1st and 20 comes on, Rapp gives the ball off to Huff. Huff breaks the tackle. Huff off to the races. 1 man to beat. And he's stumbling, falls into the end zone for a Crusader touchdown. What a run by Huff there. Able to find that end zone easily.
Great run great job by Huff to keep up on his feet there. So it looks like he was stumbling for about 10 yards there. So
absolutely right. As the extra point is up, and it is good, bringing the score at 48-0 with 4:26 left in this first quarter. Ken Huff now 12 attempts for 270 yards and 2 touchdowns.
that's a pretty good stat line there.
You know, unfortunately, we don't have high school fantasy, but I really need him on my fantasy team. I had J.K. Dobbins in this week, and he got me not even 10 points.
Well,
Just gonna give him a shout out.
Eli Costa on the kickoff for Campbell Carmel. Back to
As Costner's on for the kickoff, is up, sailing, will be fielded by Green at the 10. Green trying to find some room in the middle, but is brought down. Big tackle by Cole Tarantino there to get there first. And that'll set up Central on the 26-yard line.
Central will begin in the territory, first and 10 to 27.
And so as we mentioned earlier, obviously that basketball team will be ferocious going for that three-peat. I'd like to give a special shout out to 3 of the guys on the field tonight actually, and Rocker Keller, Jude Porter, and Reed Stuhlsatz. So good luck to you guys in the winter season, and keep fighting here on this gridiron. As Olsen's run goes nowhere, only a gain of 3 on the play. And a special shout out to all those other guys who are going to be playing basketball this winter, and especially to Jordan Mangu and Blaze Dalian. 2 amazing athletes that are juniors this year. Hope to go for that three-peat. And we hope you guys do well this winter season. As Central once again, Olsen, Green to his right. Hands the ball off to Green. Big hole up the middle. And Green's run is good enough for a Central first down. And that is Central's 3rd first down of the night. And see what Central wants to do here with time winding down, about 3:15 left in this game. As Olsen hands the ball off to Green. Green finds a hole. Green going up the middle. He's met by a couple of Capon defenders. He's brought down. 2nd best run of the night for Green there.
Yep. And like we said, Robbie, going to that, back to that run game, I think for Central is a big, I think it's a big decision that they should try to do, because their pass game really hasn't worked that much. So I think going to Green would be a great idea.
As Olsen hands the ball off to Green. Green met by defenders once again. Only a gain of 2 on the carry there. However, this Capon defense, aside from those 2 big runs from Green, have been able to contain this Central inside run that they've been doing all game. Great job by them so far tonight. As Max World checks in for Melvin Pogue. As Olsen, 2 men out to his right, 2 to the left. Sadi in motion over to his left. Olsen. And the ball is out! And it is recovered by Capon. Oh my goodness, that was a hard hit. And oh my goodness. Ball popped out due to the force of that hit. Oh my goodness. And Olsen is a little shaken up from that play. Looks like he had the wind knocked out of him there, but that gives Capon great field position on the Central 49-yard line. As Rapp hands the ball off up the middle, Keller able to find a little bit of space for a gain of 3 on the play there. As Rapp under center. Hands the ball off up the middle to Huff. Huff trying to find some space. It was brought down, not before gaining 3 yards on the play there. Bring up Capon's 2nd third down of the night here. As Rapp trying to get Central to jump off sides here. Rapp hands ball off to Huff. Huff finding some space. Bouncing outside, makes 2 men miss. Spin move. And is brought down for a gain of 15 on the play and a Crusader first down.
Great job by Ken Huff to make a great gain out of nothing there, Robbie, as kind of just followed the edge and was able to get around there.
Absolutely. Rapp rolls out to his right, trying to find his man. Rolling, chucks it, and it is dropped by Rocco Keller. Big hit from the defender, Cooper Mason, as Keller drops the ball. And that was up 2nd and 10 for the Crusader offense. As Rapp under center once again. Tosses it to Huff. Huff trying to find the edge and gets a little bit of breathing room, but is brought down. Only a gain of 2 on the play there.
Pitches to Huff, brought down by Bryce Scan. Short gain on the play, 37.
That is Crusaders offense. Once again, high formation. Gosh out right. Rapp hands ball off to Huff. Huff just able to get about 2 yards on the play there. And Capon will take their first time out with 20 seconds left. "24 seconds left in this game, sorry, excuse me." And Saul, you know Sharts likes to go deep in his playbook for these types of situations. What do you think that's going to come out of here?
Looks like Mason Collins is going in at QB, so I have no idea. But I'd assume a run with Cal Purvis here, as it looks like he's going to be going from Wildcat. Never mind. As
Rapp takes a snap, rolling out to his right, fires it over the head, almost intercepted. That was a rifle of a pass.
Excuse me, that wasn't Collins. That was Rapp. I was a little. I saw Collins go in.
It's all right. It's been a long week of Miss Ragland homework.
Yeah, it's true.
And with that, we'll bring out the Central offense, 1st and 10 on the 24-yard line. As Olson takes a snap, pitches out to his right for Green. Green bouncing off a tackle, and ball looked like it came out there at the end, but went out of bounds before anyone could get to it. That'll bring up 2nd and 5 with 12 seconds left in this game. Excuse me, in the half. So sorry about that, folks. And if you're Central here, Sully, you'd imagine you just want to keep it safe and play it on the ground, but we'll see what comes out here. As the ball goes nowhere on that play. And we'll see if Central wants to run it out. And they will. And Score in this first half, 48, Capon Central 0. So I kind of go through the thoughts of Capon right now on offense and defense.
I think Coach Schartz is happy, beyond happy with everything that's happening on this Capon offense. The O-line has played phenomenal, and they've been able to open up holes for this running game, and they've been able to get multiple running backs to contribute to this game, and the defense has played stellar, allowing 0 points and really just locking up any sort of passing game this Andover Central team was planning on having. And on top of that, they've really kept Jackson Green, the running back of Andover Central, into a very confined space behind the line of scrimmage. And just shout out to Coach Schartz for such a great game plan coming into this game, as Capon is rolling in this one.
Absolutely right, Stoley. As we come into halftime presentation from this KMC Pommies, I'm your host, Robbie Richardson.
Solomon Thomas.
And we'll see you guys back after halftime.
Siri and Darcy Park. Your KMC Pommies. At halftime, we're going to honor a couple of outstanding Crusader athletic teams. First up, girls tennis. The KMC team rep. Standing woman. Crusaders tennis. tonight, we'd like to take time to honor our Crusader girls golf team. The varsity girls golf team wrapped up an undefeated season by winning its 6th straight state title. Team members include freshman Reese Christensen, who placed 8th at state, sophomore Rennie Hartley, who placed 10th at state, sophomore Emma Wynn, placing 19th at state, junior Avery Hamilton, junior Mina Serenata, who was the individual state runner-up, and senior Natalie Runyon, who finished 6th at state. Serenata was named first team All-State and first team All-Metro. Reese Christensen earned second team All-State and first team All-Metro honors. Natalie Runyon received honorable mention All-State and was second team All-Metro. Randy Hartley was selected to the second team All-State team and also the second team All-Metro. And Emma Wynn earned third team All-Metro honors. Great job, ladies. And once again, congratulations to another outstanding golf season. While we have the golf team out here, we'd also like to recognize our lone senior varsity team member, Natalie Runyon. Natalie is in honor of Stephen and Mary Runyon, members of St. Thomas Aquinas Parish. Natalie has played golf and caping for 4 years. She's also the president of K-Club, co-president of the National Honor Society, played varsity softball for 2 years, and is a student visionary candidate for Blood Cancer United. Her favorite memories are team dinners and traditional celebratory Freddy's after winning state. Natalie plans to play golf in college while majoring in pre-dentistry. Natalie Runyon. And your KMC Girls State Champion Golf Team.
Welcome back, folks, to your second half of the second round of these playoffs between Capon and the Andover Central Jaguars. Started this half, score is 48-0, and as a reminder, folks, with Keisha ruling, that means that there will be a continuous clock and will only be stopped for penalties or timeouts or a change of quarter.
Back to for the Crusaders.
Per Keisha policy, when the score differential is north of 45, the second half will have a ready clock. Thank you.
As the ref just reiterated, clock will run continuously throughout these next two quarters. As Central comes out here for their first kickoff of the night.
If you're still hungry, there's a 2-for-1 special hamburgers and hot dogs at the concession stand tonight for the second half.
And the kickoff for Central will be from Connor Scripter. With Porter and Hamilton back for Capon. As Scripter's kick is up, high sailing, and it'll be fielded for a fair catch at the 25-yard line.
Picked up by Rocco Keller.
And the Crusaders come out here with their first-team offense once again. As Cole Rapp under center, two receivers out to his left, I formation. Rapp hands the ball off to Guyer. Guyer finding some space, running through a bunch of Central defenders, but that is enough for about 20 yards on the play there. That will bring out a new set of downs for this Crusaders offense.
Tackled by McDaniel.
Korap takes snap, looking out, finds Keller. Keller trying to weave through defenders, makes a couple men miss, not before stepping out of bounds. Great job by Keller there to keep his balance, though.
See Coach Art's going really aggressive early on here. We're trying to try out some new things with this altered offense, as we're seeing the running backs take a big rest, much needed rest here, much deserved rest.
Absolutely, as Guyer gets the handoff, bouncing out to the right, spins, and that'll be good for 9 yards, bring up 2nd and 1 here. Guyer, another promising running back, will be coming back, as it is his sophomore year this year. He'll be brought back next year. Another good boost to this already dominant Capon running back room. As Rapp hands the ball off up the middle for Eli Cokes on the run there. Bring up a first down again for the Crusaders.
Gain inside the 30. Good enough for a Crusader first down, 1st and 10 at the Andover Central 29.
As Rapp under center once again. I formation. Hands the ball off to Guyer. Guyer trying to find some space, but is brought down. Gain of 2 on the play there. Bring up 2nd and 8.
Gain of 2. Brought down by Stewart. 2nd and 8.
And tonight so far, Capon has dominated the ground with almost 500 yards of rushing, 576 to be exact, and Central's 77 tonight, with most of that coming from that big 40-yard run from Green from Central.
Yep, obvious who's came into this game prepared more, Robbie, as Coach Schartz and his staff's really been able to put this Capon team into the best possible situation this season.
Absolutely. As Rapp under center once again. Hands off to Guyer. Guyer finds some space. Is brought down for about a gain of 4 on the play there. And that'll bring up 4th down for the Crusaders tonight.
Tackled by George and Wilson. Shot the first down.
And offense will stay out on the field as 2 receivers out wide for Rapp. Rapp looking to his left, and it is caught. Great job by Gosh to bring that ball in. That'll be another 1st down. Great job by Gosh there to really adjust his body on that play as he had a little bit of a trip up, but he was able to get that ball, and that was good for a Capon 1st down.
Shake it up on the play for Andover Central.
And a little bit of a shake-up for Andover Central. Another player went down. But this Capon offense, once again, really just proving that they've been able to really just dominate everything tonight, especially on the ground and through their defense. And with that injury timeout, we'll stop the clock at 8:10. And Crusader offense will march back out onto the field with 2nd team minus Cole Rapp out there right now. As Rapp hands the ball off to Guyer. Guyer bounces to the outside, lowers his shoulder, and he is pushed forward for a gain of 7 on the play. Great aggressive run by James Guyer right there. And Tabasi subs in now for Cole Rapp. Tabasi under center. Hands off to Guyer once again. Guyer finds some space, and he's brought down, but not gaining. Excuse me. Refs will call to run a little bit short on the carry there. We're up 3rd and 1. And Tabasi under center again. I formation. Tabasi hands it off to Guyer. Guyer finds a bit of a hole and is brought down. Good enough for Crusaders. 1st down, bringing up 1st and goal on the central 5-yard line. And Tabasi hands it off to Cokes up the middle. Excuse me. Tricked me too, Liam. Tabasi, big truck there right before getting into the end zone for another 6, bringing a score of 54-0. Capon. Great run by Tabasi there, really being able to show his size and build there on that play and just running over a defender before getting into the end zone.
Yeah, great to see Tabasi getting some more meaningful reps here, as last game we'll struggle a little bit with a pick and fumble. So good to see the young QB getting some positive reps under his belt.
Absolutely. And bringing the score 55-0 with about 6 minutes and 20 seconds left in this game. And this game really just emulating what happened last week against the El Dorado Wildcats. Capon really just being able to dominate every aspect of the game and being able to give the starters their deserved rest in this 4th and 3rd quarters across both games. And Capon special teams will trot out onto the field. And we'd like to take a special moment to thank our sponsors, Ernat's Arts and Bronze and Grasshopper Mowers. Thank you guys so much for being able to sponsor Cape and Journalism. Thank you so much for being able to help us in everything that we do, and thank you for allowing us to provide this service to everyone else at home. So thank you so much to you guys for sponsoring us. As Costner's kick is up. And it'll be fielded by Green at the 5-yard line. Green trying to find his space, rolling up trying to get to the middle, but is brought down. Big hit there on the play, and that'll set up Central on their own 22-yard line.
He was brought down by Lane Freck.
Freck on the play there to bring Green down.
Jaguars take over first and 10 from the 25.
And Jaguars will take over here. First and 10, Olsen in the backfield with Green out to his left. Has a man in motion. Olsen hands it off to Green up the middle. Green, bouncing off a couple of defenders, is brought down for a gain of 4 on the play there. And with that play, Sharks will elect to bring the second team defense out there.
Second and 6.
As Olsen in shotgun once again. Green to his left. Olsen hands the ball off to Green. Green trying to find a hole, and he can. It'll be brought down not before gaining 5 yards on the play. Bring up a 3rd and short here. And this is where Green has really thrived tonight on those 3rd and short plays.
Yeah, we'll see what you can do here, Robbie. Going against a second team defense, you probably want to utilize him, as he was able to get a few big yardages off the starters.
Absolutely. Is Olsen in I formation. Takes a snap. And flag on the play. Looks like it might be a false start and bring that ball back even further.
False start. Offense number 11. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
5-yard penalty makes it 3rd and 6.
And nothing tonight has gone well for the Central Jaguars, as the run game that they had planned for all week has not worked as they intended, as this Cape and defensive line has been able to shut down everything. As Olsen rolling out to his right, tries to find a man, and he can't complete the pass. Intended receiver was Jet Thompson, and that'll bring out another 4th down for the Central Jaguars.
Leads 2 shots on the coverage for the Crusaders. 4th and 6.
As
Bubba Hall on punt for
Cape
the
has
Jaguars.
no one back out deep. And the punt sailing. And favorable bounce for the Jaguars as it'll be placed on the Cape-in 33-yard line. And it'll bring out this second team offense once again.
See what these youngsters can do in the game, Robbie. See how well they came in prepared for this game, as we expected to get this out of hand, Robbie.
As Cokes takes the carry, trying to find where his blockers are, and he's being pushed for a gain of 5 yards on the play.
Up goes the line coach.
And that'll bring up 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5. Tucker Taggart. And others on the tackle that time for the Jaguars. 2nd down.
And a little bit of confusion from this Capen offensive side. And Tabasi will hand the ball off to Guyer. Guyer gets a little tripped up, able to break a tackle, but not before gaining about a yard on the play there.
Short gain on the play. It's going to be 34.
And
Tackle by
little special announcement to all of you in AP English 4, blocks 5 and 6. Make sure you guys get your memorization done this weekend. It's worth a lot of points, and you know, you get a little extra credit if you say in Middle English, even though it's really hard to understand. So make sure you guys are on that this weekend. As Guyer gets the handoff up the middle, Guyer could have broken out, but he got tripped up on the ankles there, but not before gaining a Crusaders first down. Been really able to see the talents of James Guyer this game. And it'd be great to see him next season as a presumed starter.
That is Connor. Connor and Connor right now.
As Tabasi hands the ball off to Guyer. Guyer bounces the outside, finds a little bit of room. Will run the sideline, and it'll be a gain. And it'll be a scrum, and it'll be a flag on the play. And it'll be a scrum on the sideline. Flag start flying. And that is not characteristics of Shart's team right there, but as a fan, that is awesome to watch. But it looks like the penalty flags on Andover Central, which will bring the ball up even more after that amazing James Guyer 20-plus yard run there. And normally, folks, you wouldn't see that in a high school game, but typically reserved to college football and the pros. Not something you would typically see.
Yeah, tempers flaring, Robbie. I think down big if you're Andover Central, and really easy to get mad here on both sides. A little late hit, obviously, but
After the play is over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness number 3 of the defense, and unsportsmanlike conduct number 83 of the offense. The presence of live ball, dead ball,
And with that play, it'll be the end of the third quarter. Flipping sides of the field. Score of the third quarter, 55-0 Capen. And I imagine Sharks will have a little bit of a talking to with the second team there.
yep.
After the game.
Coach Sharks did not look happy there at all, as you don't want to risk an ejection in a playoff game, obviously, Robbie. As that's just, you know, if you throw punches, you know, you can get ejected, and
Absolutely.
don't want that to happen in such a blowout of a game. So Coach Sharks getting on his guys, but good to see that they have their teammates' backs after Guyer was thrown out late.
And start of the fourth quarter, Tabasi under center, takes the snap, hands it off, trying to find some room, and looks like Spencer Sloan on the carry. And that goes nowhere. We'll bring up a 2nd and 10. And with this win solely tonight, the Crusaders will go on to either play Wellington or Rose Hill. Last time I checked, at halftime, Wellington was up 14-7. So we'll see what'll become of that game, as Greer's run is enough for Crusaders' first down there on that play.
Yep, you're exactly right, Robbie. And, I think these Capen players are really rooting for a certain team to win that game. Wellington, as you know, Capen lost to Wellington last year. And I think Capen is out for some revenge, as if you're Wellington and you win this game this week, you're gonna have to deal with a really angry football team to play next week.
Absolutely. As most of the starters from both offense and defense were playing last year. Absolutely right, Sully. There's going to be a little bit of aggression and fire in them to want to win this game. As the score of Wellington-Rose Hill right now is Wellington up 7-21 to Rose Hill's 14. Sabasi hands the ball off to Cokes up the middle. Cokes fighting for that yardage, but is brought down. Gain of 2 on the play there.
Ball carrier that time was Eli Cokes. He was brought down by Taggart. Gain of 1 at 3rd and 8.
As Capen really just trying to let that clock run.
Yep. No need to get any injuries here, Robbie.
Absolutely right. As Guyer bounces to the outside, trying to find some room, makes a man miss, makes another man miss, lowers the shoulder, powering through, but it'll be brought down around the 2-yard line. James Guyer, powerful run on the play there.
Yep, showing them why it shouldn't have gotten shoved out of balance there, right, Robbie?
Absolutely.
And guy you're going to see a lot of in the future there, James Guyer.
Gets it to the 2-yard line. It's going to be first and goal, Crusaders.
As Sabasi hands the ball off to Guyer. Guyer up the middle, dives forward, but is marked just short of the goal line.
He was knocked down shy of the
Try to just power through there, but it comes up just a bit short there.
Bobby Sands. Second goal for the 1.
As Carlos Castros checks into the game here. As Tabasi hands the ball off to Guyer. Guyer finds a hole, and that'll be good for another Crusader touchdown, bringing the score 61-0. And the Crusaders tonight will have almost matched their score from last week against El Dorado. And James Guyer so far tonight has had 15 attempts for 109 yards and 1 touchdown. Doing the math at home, folks, that's about 8 yards a carry. Great job by Guyer, as only a sophomore, to keep composure this game and being able to read his blocks and being able to make defenders miss. Promising young star for this Crusaders offense in the coming years. Right now, score is 6-2-0 with 8:04 left in this quarter, as Costner trots out there for the kick. As Costner's kick is a little little wobbly, a little weird there. And it will give Central good field position here. We'll see if they can go down and get a little bit of a confidence booster.
Recovered by Stilber. Andover Central will take over first and 10 from the 42.
And Olsen split backs in the backfield. Takes a snap, bobbles it a bit as he looks for a man, almost gets the ball ripped out, but is brought down. Nothing has been going right for this Central offense, as this Cape and defensive line has not allowed anything for Olsen tonight.
Yeah, Robbie, you're completely right. They've seen absolutely nothing in terms of success if you're Andover Central, and this Cape and defense is just showing how well they came in prepared to this one.
As ball carrier takes up the middle for a gain of 1 on the play. That was Bubba Hall on the carry there. First carry of the night for him. As it brings up another 3rd and long for Central tonight. We'll see if they want to try and air this one out just to get a couple of their guys in good spirits. As Olsen with Green to his left. Snap is low. Olsen rolling out to his left. Olsen is brought down. Great play there by Oblinger to get to his man immediately. And that was also Alvin Pondai, brother of Axel Pondai, on the sack there.
All allowed to punt. Nobody back for KMC.
As the Central Special Teams unit is out here for what seems like 15th time. The ball will roll in favor of Central, and Capon will receive the ball at the 23-yard line.
Ball's punt is down at the KMC 22.
And time left, 55 minutes, 22 seconds left in this game. And seems we'll take an injury timeout. And solely going into the next round of the playoffs for Capon, they'll either face Wellington or Rose Hill, looking to beat Wellington right now. What is going to be the game plan in facing Wellington, and do you think a couple of those seniors are going to want to try to get the ball more that game?
I don't see a difference in the game plan for Coach Charts, just because of how good this run offense has been, and I don't think that Coach Charts will shy away from that run game. I do anticipate these Cape and seniors to really lay it all out there during this game, this next game. As you know, speaking to a lot of those players from last year, Robbie, you can just tell the resentment towards that game and how they really felt like they should have won that one.
Absolutely. As Tabasi takes a snap, hands it off to Guyer up the middle, who powers ahead for about 5 on the carry there, bringing up 2nd and 5.
Goes to James Guyer. He gained 6 on the play, 2nd and 4. Penalty Stover and Ty Garbo on the tackle for Andover Central. Second down.
And Capon just letting this clock run. Tabasi under center. Hands the ball off to Cokes. Cokes is brought down for a gain of 3 on the play.
Eli Coates is the ball carrier for Capon. He was there at first down. It's going to be 3rd and 1. A tackle that time for the Jaguars.
And Tabasi hands the ball off to Guyer. Guyer up the middle is brought down for a gain of about 10 on the carry there, bringing up another Crusader first down. 3:40 left on this clock.
KMC first and 10 from their 41. George on the tackle for the Jaguars.
And Tabasi under center once again. Takes the snap, hands it off to Cokes, up the middle, immediately met by a wall of Central defenders. Cokes trying to fight for extra yardage. Will gain about 1 off that second push there.
During that time for KMC, Eli Coates. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Skahan and Scripter on the tackle.
And high formation, Capon once again. Tabasi takes the hands off. Guyer trying to find some room, and he can. Brought down not before gaining 8 on the play. Close to a first down, but that'll be 3rd and 1.
It's going to be 3rd and 1.
2 minutes left remaining in this game as Capon gets first down.
Skahan on the tackle that time for
The game will be over. Even if they don't, the game will also be over. So like going into this game, Capon was really wanting for just to get a good win out of here, and tonight they came out with a dominant win over Central. Kind of just go over things that you saw that were really great from both offense and defense tonight.
I start off with the defense first. I saw a really great pass defense from Capon, and in something that's been a struggle all season, kind of for Capon and those bigger games, but Central tried over and over again to throw the ball, and they weren't able to because no receivers were open. And the linebackers also played great, being able to blitz, stay in coverage, and the defensive line allowed very few yards against a great running back and Franklin. So just a great overall game by the defense. And offensively, what can I say except these running backs were just unbelievable, Robbie, and this offensive line really showing why Capon is in the position they are right in this game. They've been able to show so much just dominance on these D lines that they've played. It really hasn't even been close. So just great job by Coach Schartz, and I really don't see the game plan changing going forward just because of how dominant this team has been. And just on how smooth it looks and how every play, you know what's coming, but you can't defend it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely right. As both teams walk out for a little sportsmanship, we'd like to say thank you so much for tuning in to this second round of the playoffs. Final score, 62 Capon, 0 Central. I'm Robbie Richardson.
I'm Solomon Thomas.
We'd like to thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week.